On my channel, I have covered a lot of serial killer TV shows and movies, but today, we are doing a Star Wars video. Now, fun fact about me, I actually adore Star Wars, and I actually adore Darth Vader even more than the franchise itself, so I decided, hey, let's make a Darth Vader tier list video. So which of these god/OP characters can Darth Vader actually be? And today, we will find out. And what's pretty cool about this video is it's kind of like a Star Wars/Marvel/DC universe type video. So I'm bringing you the 3 big bangs. Boom! 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 But without further ado, let me explain the tiers so you understand what I am ranking. Coming in at S tier is They'd Kill Vader, which is pretty self-explanatory. Honorable Battle, which is kind of like the Obi-Wan versus Anakin fight, which is a very close fight. Both are very skilled in the respected universes, and essentially it all comes down to a 50-50. It'll take some time, which means Vader will win, but it will take Vader some time to destroy them. An easy fight is easy peasy, GG, no diff. So coming in first, we have our boy Venom. Now Vader is low-key perfectly designed to counter someone like Venom, who is a symbiote. Or a symbiote. Honestly, I'm not really good at pronouncing that, so my apologies. So while the symbiote's powers may make it seem like they also have a pretty notable weakness. And one of the most significant vulnerabilities that they have is their sensitivity to heat and sound, 2 elements that Vader can use to his advantage in this fight. For example, his lightsaber can easily generate enough heat because, bro, if you get hit with a lightsaber, you're gonna be burnt in half. Well, not burnt in half, but you know what I mean. Also, Vader's use of the Force allows him to manipulate his environment, like sending telekinetic shockwaves that could disorient him or even physically damage Venom. Now, another tactic that Vader could use is using the Force to pull the host out of the symbiote, which is kind of speculation. I don't know if it could happen, but honestly, with Vader's mastery of the Force, I can kind of see that happening. Now, we all know the symbiote relies heavily on its connection to the host for power and control. So if Vader is able to separate them, then Venom would be weaker, and he'd probably just kill Eddie right then and there with no mercy whatsoever. And then once Eddie's dead, Vader, I feel like, would be able to finish it off, either by using his lightsaber to destroy it or using the Force to completely crush it. So against Venom, I don't think it would be an easy fight. Maybe it could be an easy fight, that is debatable, but I feel like it would take some time for Vader. I may be underestimating Vader here, and it may be an easy fight, but just for Venom's sake, we'll put him at it'll take some time. And next we have our boy Thanos. So Thanos is actually a really good opponent to throw up against Vader. He's regarded as one of the most powerful beings in the Marvel universe, if not the most powerful in the Marvel universe, with the Infinity Gauntlet. Like, just like Vader is regarded as one of the strongest in the Star Wars universe as well. Like, Thanos' strength, his combat experience, and his geniusness allows him to defeat enemies who are considered godlike, and Vader is considered godlike. And while he may not have access to the Infinity Gauntlet in this scenario, because that would just be too OP, like Vader would just get blown to shreds easily. Like, one snap of his finger and Vader is poof, he's gone. And even without the Infinity Gauntlet, Thanos has faced off against some of the most powerful heroes and villains across galaxies, often coming out on top due to his insane durability, and he's just completely ruthless as well. Like, this guy does not give up whatsoever. Darth Vader, on the other hand, is a master of the dark side of the Force. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, and he's very highly skilled in lightsaber combat. His Force powers, including telekinesis, mind manipulation, and precognition, give him an advantage in battle. The ability to Force choke his enemies from a distance and control their movements, or even disarm them with a mere thought, would be a serious threat to most of his opponents. And despite Vader's powerful arsenal of Force techniques, I feel like Force choke and a lot of other Force tricks that he has up his sleeve wouldn't really work on Thanos. Maybe. But with the combination of Thanos' strength and Vader's Force powers, I feel like this would make a really good battle, but it would also be very drawn out. And for this one, to be honest, without the Infinity Gauntlet, this might actually come to a shock for a lot of you, I'll put it in honorable battle. I feel like it would be a 50-50. I don't really know who would win, but I mean, if Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet, he 100% wins, no diff at all. But I don't think he would kill Vader without the Infinity Gauntlet, but I really feel like it could go either way, because keep in mind, this is a 1v1 we're talking about, just Vader and Thanos. And next we have Kratos. Now Kratos is a warrior who has fought and defeated gods, monsters, and beings of unimaginable power. Throughout his journey, he's faced challenges that most would consider literally impossible. He's armed with the Leviathan axe, the blade of chaos that can tear through multiple people at once. Now Kratos has faced beings with powers similar to Vader's, including gods who can manipulate force beyond comprehension, and he has managed to kill them, might I add again. So in a fight with Kratos, Vader would have to keep his distance, and he would have to use his powers to manipulate the battlefield and keep Kratos at a distance, because Kratos is really good at fighting in close quarters. And also Vader, he's good at fighting in close quarters too, because he does have good lightsaber training. But then again, Vader isn't only just a person who does close quarters combat. He's very strategic. He knows his opponents and he knows what to do. He's also, well, I guess you can argue he's patient, but then sometimes he's not patient when he is fueled by rage, since, you know, he is a dark side wielder. But inevitably, Darth Vader's goal would be to weaken Kratos through strikes from afar and control his movements with the Force. However, the key difference between Vader and Kratos lies in the resilience. While Vader's attacks are completely deadly, Kratos has proven time and time again that he can overcome almost any obstacle, no matter how overwhelming. And the more Vader tries to use his Force abilities to damage Kratos, the more I feel like Kratos would adapt. And Kratos is not just a survivor, he actively destroys whatever stands in his way. And as the battle progresses, Kratos would close the distance between them inevitably. And once in close quarters, I feel like Vader would find himself pretty overwhelmed by Kratos' raw power. And in the end, this one might be controversial as well, but I do have him killing Vader, but then again, it could be an honorable battle, it could be a 50-50, but just what Kratos does is just absolutely unimaginable. He does the impossible, and Vader is one of the characters that does the impossible. So, yeah. And next, we have Ultron. So vibranium gives Ultron a nearly indestructible body, one that can resist lightsaber strikes, but this is also speculation though. It could resist it and it could not. And Ultron is also very smart. I feel like he would even target Vader's life support system. With his advanced intellect, Ultron would quickly identify Vader's weaknesses and try to exploit them because he is AI. But then again, through the Force, Vader could anticipate Ultron's moves, manipulate systems, and potentially disrupt the AI's programming as well. But then again, since we're talking about peak Ultron, like the one who has fully evolved and gained near limitless adaptability. Now for Ultron, I'll put this again an honorable battle. And next we have Lord Voldemort. Now, while Voldemort's spells are very powerful, no doubt, many of them require line of sight and spoken words. Like essentially he has to cast his magic. Like with Vader with the Force, he can just use his mind and it happens instantly. And with Vader's reflexes, I feel like he could counter almost everything that Voldemort has. Now, Force barriers could absorb or deflect magical blasts, and Vader telekinesis could disarm or even physically crush Voldemort before he even finishes his words to cast a spell. Now, Voldemort's Avada Kedavra might kill almost any living being instantly, but it's not guaranteed against someone who can sense danger before it even happens and react in a blink of an eye. Now, Vader's ability to choke, crush, or even tear objects apart with the Force could overwhelm Voldemort if he couldn't defend fast enough. And to be honest, I do have Vader killing Voldemort in battle, but then again, after that, it's all about the Horcruxes to actually finish the job once and for all. But then again, it's Vader, and finding the Horcruxes with the amount of countless resources he has, aka the entire empire of soldiers who would search the galaxy for the Horcruxes, would be easy. So for this one, I would say it would take some time, but I'll put him on top of Venom just because the Horcruxes, it would take some time, you know what I'm saying? And next we have Bowser. So Bowser's biggest advantage against Vader is his really, and I mean really, OP strength. I mean, it wouldn't guarantee him a win against Vader. While Bowser can crush fortresses, Vader can counter by sensing every attack. Vader can turn the battlefield into his playing ground, collapsing structures onto Bowser using the Force to restrain him, or even targeting weak points with precise lightsaber strikes. But Vader's Force techniques, combined with his armor and experience in fighting in hellish conditions, because I mean, Vader Vader's fortress is literally on Mustafar, a lava world, might I add. So I feel like that would allow him to endure his breath. Now, in a straight up 1v1, Bowser might win initially because he's so strong, but then again, as I already have been saying this entire video, Vader isn't dumb. He wouldn't take a fight head on. Bowser, I feel like it would take some time. And honestly, I would put Bowser over Venom. Now, while I'm rewatching this while I'm editing, honestly, I feel like Bowser should go in honorable battle because it could be a 50-50. So yeah, I'll put him in honorable battle. And next we have Darkseid. Now we're stepping into absolute god tier territory. Now Darkseid isn't just another supervillain. He is a cosmic entity who exists on a completely different scale from most beings in the galaxy. His Omega beams aren't just flashy energy attacks, they're deadly lasts that can vaporize or trap enemies across dimensions. He's taken on entire teams of superheroes, including Superman, and still came out on top. As powerful as Darth Vader is, this is honestly a battle he simply just can't win on his own in a 1v1. And his force abilities wouldn't affect a being with such cosmic durability, and Darkseid wouldn't need to break a sweat. He would simply just overpower or disintegrate Vader with a blast from his Omega beams. I put Darkseid in They Kill Vader, and I do put him over Kratos. And next we have Sam and Dean Winchester. Now, Sam and Dean Winchester are hunters who have spent their lives facing the worst kind of monsters imaginable. Also demons, angels, and even gods as well. They're incredibly resourceful, smart, and willing to do whatever it takes to win. They're armed with enchanted weapons and decades of supernatural knowledge. But facing Darth Vader alone by themselves would be a different kind of fight, let's be real. His force powers would allow him to predict their attacks, counter their movements before they even happen, and tear down any normal weaponry that they have bought. Bullets, useless. Blades, I mean, come on, completely useless. Now, Sam and Dean are also the prep time gods, kind of like Batman, but they're poor. And honestly, who am I kidding? I mean, if it's Sam and Dean by themselves versus Vader, they lose instantly. At the end of the day, they're just humans. But I mean, if they had Castiel on their side, it would be a different story. But Vader still slams them the moment they walk through the door. So with Sam and Dean, honestly, it's an easy fight. Let's be real. And I realize a lot of these fights are controversial. Like, then again, Darth Vader versus Thanos has been talked about a lot. Even Darth Vader versus Kratos have been talked about a lot. So, you know, people have their different opinions, but for me, and this is everything I've gathered from, you know, each movie, each show, each comic, and etc. etc. So yeah, let me know what you guys think.